I think musically speaking, it's probably our track Time Bomb because it's like very extreme. We have that extreme guitar sound, very squeaky sound,
Yeah, squeaky.
that we
Yeah, yeah.
wouldn't normally go to. Um, Also we have this very heavy breakdown at the end, but also this kind of Kesha homage in the
Yeah,
chorus.
I noticed that. Yeah,
So
in
it's
the
very
follow.
wild. Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's just a very
yeah.
wild mix of styles.
This is Ryan with Ethereal Metal, and I'm going to be here today with Maddie of Blacktooth, and we're going to be discussing Headway, their upcoming album. And Maddie, thank you very much for taking the time today. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. Very excited to be on the chat.
Yeah,
So yeah.
definitely. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. So I always like to start off interviews by asking, what have you been listening to lately?
Oh, it's mostly rock music, I would say. So I'm still digging the latest Papa Roach album. I love Stand Atlantic. Their last I think it was an EP. It was really,
Ah, cool.
really great. Also Paris, always since the latest releases. I just love it. Yeah, these kind of
Nice.
things. Oh, and obviously the two latest Point North releases. They were
Ah,
just
cool.
really hitting me up. Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah. Nice,
So
awesome, cool.
rock.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's awesome. So I wanted to talk, obviously about Headway. Um, for me, it kind of feels like a bold statement from the band. What's the biggest headway that you've made as a band while creating this album?
As a band, huh? Okay. Um, well, it's hard to just talk about the album creating process, but or not, let's say we make some progress or some headway, by just professionalizing our whole process, I guess, songwriting wise, how we operate as a team now. We have added new members to the team, not the band itself, but like around the band. So it's all getting a lot more professional. And I think with that, we made some serious headway.
Awesome, cool.
Like fire, burning up inside. I'm failing over my own fucking will. I've lost my pride and my dignity, down to fall from my own lies.
So Get Me Down, really, really awesome track. Kind of hit me like a sonic freight train, to be honest with you. What fueled the energy and the emotion behind this anthem? And what
Um,
messages are you hoping are going to resonate with the listeners?
well, I mean, Henny and I, as a singer, Henny and I, are big 80s heavy metal hard rock fans, and we love we just love riffs. And I
Yeah.
feel like because I'm mainly responsible for songwriting with Blacktooth, I always feel like I have to give it that one song that's really like riffy, maybe a bit old school riff like,
That's awesome.
and
Cool.
that was Get Me Down, obviously. And you know, I think it addresses this. I have a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a dog too, but so no worries. Um, so yeah, I was talking about this feeling of sometimes you just have to stop doing something for your own good because it's obviously too stressful or whatever, and you just like have
Right.
to take a
Right.
step down or like, yeah, that wish you just get me down from that. So yeah.
Nice. And were there any challenges you faced during that specific song, whether it be emotional challenges or?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably also have to do with the whole professionalization of processes with the band. For the first album we did with the Rising Empire, Julie, it was really stressful. Getting to know or like getting into this whole process of social media. You know,
Yeah.
uh, you have to make up for all these releases. You have to organize yourself completely different than what you did before. So that was very stressful, and I felt like I have to change something. I have to, take a step down, so that I can keep doing this, just for stress reasons, basically. So Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
I think I did that with Get Me Down, like touching up
Cool.
upon the topic.
And for me personally, music has always been kind of like a release or a catharsis for me.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure that definitely, yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like sometimes you don't have the words if you speak them, but sometimes for some reason it's sometimes easier to just sing about this stuff.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Cool. And I also absolutely love the music video merges your explosive sound, but a dance crew as well.
Yeah.
Um, where did that idea come from, and how does it tie into the song's vibe?
Um, well, I mean, obviously the song with all the instrumentation has a lot of motion, so we want to just
Yeah.
capture that. And we are three very introverted people, I would say. So we're not that whole energetic trio, just throwing our guitars or whatever. It was like, yeah, we need some support here. Let's get
Yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
dancers on to just make it a little more energetic. And it apparently worked, so
That's cool.
yeah.
And what was the production process like with the dance crew? Like, did it?
Um, Basically, we just asked around, and video guy Peter, he knew them, I guess. So he asked them if they wanted to be in the video, and they were like really excited because they normally don't do video shoots or whatever.
Sure.
They're just like this dance crew, and they came up with everything. They came up with the performance, and yeah, then we just met, and I was just sitting in a chair. It was very weird not performing because we did the performing part in another on another day. So just
Cool.
sitting there, just watching them, I was like, yeah, that's cool. So they
Nice, nice.
already, yeah, they did that on their own, like very creative, very cool
Cool.
to work with.
Cool, cool.
They were really excited. I love that.
And so prior to them doing the choreography for the dance, did they have to like get a listen to the song, kind of
Yeah,
get the vibe and all of that first ahead of time, I assume?
yeah. They got the song and everything, and then they just worked out their choreography. Yeah.
Cool, cool. Awesome. So every album tells a story about where a band is creatively.
hmm
If your previous work would be like the setup, how does Headway deliver the punchline?
Oh, well, again, I think we have figured out our creative way as well, like how we write songs. Because with Julie, we were still, sometimes start with this part or that idea of somebody contributing, and now it's basically just me writing all the songs.
Yeah,
What I
yeah.
do, I jot down some ideas or like have some vocal melodies in my head. I put them in Logic and just record all the information myself. And the guys just get finished songs already. So they just then
Nice.
basically just say yeah, yeah, let's do it or not. Mostly they just say yeah, let's roll that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and that seems to work for us. It translates well. It translates well to Henny's voice, I feel. And that's just how we're gonna do it from now on. So in that sort of way, we just found our way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Um, so your music kind of thrives on like a raw emotional edge. What themes did you dive into on Headway? And were there any moments that felt, as I was saying before, cathartic? Are there any moments that felt cathartic to create?
Well, the main idea of Headway, I guess, if you want to sum everything up on the album, it's basically just, getting to know yourself throughout life. So you will find out some challenges you may face. You will probably understand why you struggle in a certain area, or also know your resources, what
Sure.
kind of drives you. So I think all the songs work on that topic one way or another. Yeah.
Cool. Um, so if I'm pronouncing correct, Hendrik?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So
that's correct.
mentioned that he's been itching to release Get Me Down on stage. What surprises do you have in store for fans when you take these new tracks on tour?
Um, well, I mean, for now, we've already taken them on tour
Yeah.
because we
Yeah. Yeah.
toured the Amity Affliction and Mule in August, and we were like, hey, we're just the opening band. No one's gonna know our songs. Let's just roll these songs because we like to play them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Headway was already kind of out in the live section. And it's just really cool because, I mean, you have more songs. You can just choose the package that you want to go with. It's a lot of Headway songs at the moment, which is really refreshing. Especially the opener with Antidote, which is just out for a week now. Um,
Yeah,
it really sets the mood, and we love it. Then we follow up with Get Me Down, and
yeah,
it's just really, that riff. You feel like people might expect with Antidote, like, oh, okay, it's kind of a vibey, soft, whatever. Then we hit them with Get Me Down, and it's just a lot of movement. It just leaves a lot of options for movement. It's great
and the
live.
train crashes. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So yeah, sorry, I should have been clear. What I meant was more of on a headliner basis. Are you
Oh,
looking forward
oof.
to? Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, still, we're a very small band, so headline shows are rare for us. We are planning one release show for the whole album in our hometown,
right.
where we're actually gonna be a headliner, and we are not very done with the whole setup, how we're gonna do this. Maybe we are gonna play the whole album, but then again, I don't know. It's also very tough
Yeah,
because the album is so short. It's like less than half an hour, so
right, right.
there's lots of room for songs. But we're like super excited. We think it works well, translates well live so far, what we've experienced with the Amity Affliction tour. So
Cool.
yeah, just really excited to play this whole thing live, I guess. I'm personally, I can't wait to play like Hell's Paradise for the first time.
Yeah,
Maybe we're gonna do that because we have that feature with our friend Felix. It's also like
Felix. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's also a band from our hometown, so maybe have him on stage or something as a little surprise. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Uh, that'd be awesome. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Um, so also, are there any thoughts of potentially putting together like a really small um headlining run maybe after that release show?
Yeah, this is another tough spot at the moment in Germany with clubs. Clubs are in a tough spot. We are,
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
were trying to, but then again, you have to, put up your prices for tickets and everything, which I don't know. It's not really yeah. Yeah,
for sure.
I don't think, I
Yeah,
mean, it's we're talking more than like 25 euros per show,
yeah.
which is just a lot. And we're like, we could do a little DIY tour, but then again, we don't know if you would play it in front of 30 people or 200. I don't know. It's really,
Right, right. That would be
it's
yeah.
all up in the open. So right now we're just really looking for these support slots that we can get, hop on other
Cool.
tours,
Yeah, that's
build up an
awesome.
audience. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little bit more about um any risks that you may have taken during the entire songwriting process. Um, do you feel that there's any risks that you as a writer may have taken um, that you might
Yeah,
not have saw yourself doing?
I think musically speaking, it's probably our track Time Bomb because it's like very extreme. We have that extreme guitar sound, very squeaky sound,
Yeah, squeaky.
that we
Yeah, yeah.
wouldn't normally go to. Um, also we have this very heavy breakdown at the end, but also this kind of Kesha homage in the
Yeah,
chorus.
I noticed that. Yeah,
So
in
it's
the
very
promo.
wild. Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just a very wild mix of styles, and we're like, we kind of love these songs. It was the same way with our last album, and we had that one song, was it Tidal Wave, I guess, which was
cool.
very like EDM pop like. And we always tend to love these songs the most. But then
Nice.
again, when you put them out, it's like, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't. Also, the music video of Time Bomb is just crazy. I don't know if you've
Cool.
seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that was probably a risk we took. We would still take risks like this every album, I guess. But yeah, it was probably a bit wild.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
cool. And would you say that you guys have any kind of like I guess you call it like a secret sauce behind like the blend of your heavy riffs, infectious hooks, and the emotional depth that you put into your music?
I think it's just the wild mix of music that we all listen to, really. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I, as a main songwriter, I listen to so much stuff, but always seem to find this blend of genres. I can't even
right.
escape. I couldn't even write a song like that's, true to one genre. I've tried that and I can't. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what's happening in my brain, but it's just the way it is, I guess.
No, but sometimes I think personally it's a lot nicer to be able to not necessarily confine yourself to a specific genre. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I think we always gonna stand out a bit from the scene because we are not shouting. Uh,
yeah,
Henny has simply forgotten how to, which is okay. I think it's one of the features that we want to, have on further albums as well. Like it's something that I don't think we're ever gonna change. It's just what we want to do, no
that's awesome.
shouting.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, being able to blend those genres together kind of it makes it more creative, more real for
Yeah.
me personally, anyway. As opposed to just confining yourself to like a specific box, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's cool. So fans obviously love how your songs can be both fierce but deeply personal at the same time. And was there any particular track on the album that felt like it was like an emotional roller coaster for you?
Um, Depends on if you're talking about the recording process or just the songwriting process.
No, more the writing. Yeah.
Yeah.
More the writing process for sure. Yeah,
Well, obviously, songs like Antidote are very personal to me, about that trying to break a cycle of having these real lows sometimes. And
yeah, yeah,
that you will overcome them and it's okay. It's not gonna stuck with you, but still, not being able to leave the cycle and like, oh, it's just like so depressing to have that, and it's gonna be over the next day even, but it's just like it's
yeah,
exhausting and you feel like,
yeah.
yeah,
It is. It
I don't
is.
need this right now. So yeah, that's a very personal one, and honestly it's my favorite track of the album, how it turned out,
Cool.
like vibey.
Cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
fits
yeah.
just the topic. Yeah.
And what about during the recording process?
um what was the question again for that?
No, that's okay. Was there any specific song, I guess, during the recording process that was
Oh
like an
yeah.
emotional roller coaster for you to get through?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That would have been Hell's Paradise for sure. So
Ah,
we took like two different recording sessions. Um, so we did like a couple days and then went home for like a couple of weeks and then came back in the studio, and we left with Hell's Paradise that was like 80% finished, and it got flipped around quite a bit in the studio. So yeah, we were not really happy with it from the first recording session. And then I said, "Can I please have the track so I can work on it from home?" And I got them, and then changed the hook like entirely.
okay. Yeah.
And now I feel like it's one of the best hooks on the album. Probably not the song like overall song, but this hook really, I don't know. It was really good that I went home and did that again, and then put it back in the studio, and then went through it and polished the whole song.
Cool. Cool.
But yeah, definitely an emotional roller coaster for me because I felt like, yeah, it's not quite right after the first session. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think being able to pull yourself out of that studio environment, you know, kind of get into your own headspace a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool.
Yeah.
So my very last question for you, looking ahead, how do you hope Headway will redefine not just the band, but also the way fans and newcomers alike experience modern rock?
Oh. I think we're in a good position in Germany because there is basically no real scene for modern rock music.
Yeah, sure.
So maybe we just get to define it a little bit. Like compared if we were in the US where you have this real big scene of modern rock music, which is awesome,
Cool.
and we wish to, visit you guys at some point. That'd be cool. But
Yeah, that would be
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, maybe we can shape it a little bit with Headway and, borrowing from different elements of different genres and keep doing
Cool.
that, I guess.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, Maddie, thank you again very much for your time today. As a reminder for everybody listening, Headway is due for release on January 24th, 2025 via A Rising Empire. Maddie, thank you again so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.